Welcome to SVR IAS Academy. ComeOnIndia.com is our website. In this current affairs video lecture, we will teach you about Special 301 report, India's position in the report, and reasons for India's low position in the Special 301 report. It is an important topic for prelims examination every year because the report is published every year. So let's start the video lecture. The Special 301 report is published every year by United States Trade Representative. Is published by US Trade Representative under Section 301 of the Trade Act 1974. Trade Act 1974. Now you may ask a question, what is the objective of the Special 301 report? As you may be aware, most of the copyright patent laws are held by US companies, especially in the pharmaceutical sector. They invest the money, huge sums of money in the research and development. After years of research, US companies develops a drug and applies for the copyright and patent, and once approved, it will remain in force for 20 years. Only for 20 years, only the company who got the patent right can produce the drug. But under certain circumstances, under WTO rules, compulsory licensing can be used. Compulsory licensing can be used. So before the expiration of 20 years, if a country thinks the price is very high, price of the essential drugs is very high, then they can issue compulsory licensing to any company, and the company can produce generic version of the branded drug. The company who invested in the R&D activities produces an original drug is called as branded drug, applies for the patent rights, then patent rights will be valid for 20 years. It means for 20 years, no other company can produce the drug. Say the drug called XYZ cannot be produced by any company except the company who done R&D and developed the drug. The company has the right to fix the price. In case the company fixes price arbitrarily, under WTO rules, there is a clause called as compulsory licensing. Compulsory licensing, under which other countries like India has a right to use the compulsory licensing provision so that generic version of this branded drug can be produced at the affordable price and company can be compensated. So the main objective of the Special 301 report is to identify the trade barriers like compulsory licensing, to identify the trade barriers to the US companies and products due to the intellectual property laws like copyright, patents, trademarks in the other countries. For example, India has a patent law. So every country has its own law, but which should be inconsistent with the WTO rules. So in this Special 301 report, US Trade Representative identifies intellectual property laws of other countries which act as a trade barriers to the US companies and products. So every year, US Trade Representative should identify the countries which don't give adequate and effective protection of the intellectual property rights to the US companies and products. The report identifies 3 lists of countries. One is priority foreign countries. Second is priority watch list. Priority watch list, and third is watch list. India is placed in the priority watch list. India is placed in the priority watch list. Priority foreign countries is the top list. The countries judged to have inadequate IP laws, inadequate intellectual property laws. US may impose economic sanctions on the countries which are placed in the priority foreign countries. US may impose sanctions on the countries which are placed under priority foreign countries. Priority foreign country is a classification, is a worst classification given to the foreign countries. They deny effective IPR rights protection to the US companies and persons under Trade Act of USA. What about priority watch list and watch list countries? Priority watch list countries are countries which are judged by US trade representative and they having the serious IPR deficiencies in their laws. They have serious intellectual property rights deficiencies, so it needs increased US attention. These countries require increased US trade representative attention. India is placed under priority watch list country. Let's discuss the reasons for that. In India, it is the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. It is the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion is the agency that administers IP laws and policies in India. So, Department of Industrial Policies and Promotion is the agency responsible for managing the IP laws and policies. The report especially criticizes Section 3D of the Indian Patent Act. Special 301 report especially attacks Section 3D of the Indian Patent Act. Remember this act and section name because there's a Section 3D coming in the news regularly almost every month. So it's important for the prelims examination. By using the Section 3D of the Indian Patent Act, government establishes stricter patentability standards, for generic medicines. Simply, Section 3D of the Indian Patent Act promotes generic medicines. In our another video lecture, we'll cover about branded drugs and generic drugs and important differences between them. Another important reason is use of the compulsory licensing, frequent use of the compulsory licensing by Indian government. So first reason is Section 3D of the Patent Act. Second is use of compulsory licensing. Remember these 2 points while writing answer in GS paper 3. These 2 points you must write in your mains examination. Let's discuss what US pharma companies expect from India. US pharma companies want a moratorium on issuing compulsory licensing. US companies want to ensure strict IP environment in India. They want strong IP laws in India. US companies expect India to fast track examination of the patent claims of its companies. For example, if US company thinks its patent rights are violated, it applies to the Indian agencies, but it's taking a lot of time to decide about the patent claims. So US companies want India to fast track the examination of patent claims by the US companies. What needs to be done? We are using compulsory licensing because the companies which are holding patent rights charging arbitrarily high price for its drugs, say cancer drugs and other drugs. For example, recently some breast cancer drugs cost around 50,000 per couple of tablets. So it may take around 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs to complete treatment. So in India, most of the people can't afford this much price. In this background, if you use a compulsory licensing, the cost may come down to thousands. That's why we are using compulsory licensing frequently. And WTO trade rules permits the usage of compulsory licensing. So it is fully consistent with the WTO trade rules. So we should balance both the interest of the companies which are innovating their drugs and also at the same time we should provide affordable healthcare to our people. We should balance both, because without innovations, new drugs cannot be produced. If new drugs is not produced, it is difficult to treat the patients. Like take tuberculosis as an example. Multi-drug resistant tuberculosis or extremely drug resistant tuberculosis are emerging. If new drugs are not innovated, it is difficult to treat this kind of tuberculosis. So innovation should be encouraged, and we need to strengthen our IP laws, and at the same time the new drugs should be affordable so that poor people, especially people living below poverty line, can get access to these tablets. That's all about this important video lecture, and it is very important for GS paper 3 and as well as for prelims examination 2016 and 2017. Visit our website commonindia.com for more online video lectures for 2016 and 2017 IAS examination. Thank you.